100 white South Africans are expected to arrive in the country out of 8,000 or so applications. How is this being received in the US? Are there concerns, particularly by refugee advocacy groups, for example?
Well, refugee advocacy groups, of course, find it utterly astonishing that a Trump administration that would close America's doors almost wholesale to refugees from all over the world, because that is, in essence, what President Trump has done in the weeks since he returned to the White House on January the 20th, would throw America's doors open for one group of people, Afrikaner farmers, based on a false statement that the president has made about the Expropriation Act. He argues that those farmers are being dispossessed of their lands without compensation. He also argues more broadly that white Afrikaner farmers are suffering human rights abuses at the hands of President Ramaphosa's government. And of course, the United States government chides President Ramaphosa for the position that South Africa took at the ICJ, accusing Israel and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of war crimes. But it is an extraordinary moment for the United States to be opening its doors to refugees whose processing time for transition to a new life in America has been fast-tracked to just 3 months, where the standard processing time has been 18 to 24 months, and that was before Donald Trump shut America's doors. I think it's fair to say that most Americans don't really know this is taking place, and it's curious that the government wants to send apparently this delegation of US government officials to Dulles Airport to welcome the first Afrikaners as they fly in, because that will certainly raise visibility of this within the United States. And it's not clear that the American public will necessarily back it. I mean, Republican Trump voters don't want anybody coming in. They want America's doors shut, and they certainly aren't particularly literate in the politics of South Africa. And Democrats, of course, will say, well, if you're letting white Afrikaner farmers into the United States, why are the doors closed to so many other deserving people who have applied for refuge in America? But it's an astonishing symbol of how low the bilateral relationship between the two countries has fallen, and we'll wait to see when these planes are going to arrive, when these people are going to arrive, and what level of welcome they are provided by the Trump administration.
Simon Marks is our Washington correspondent. Simon, thanks very much indeed. And just to note, government officials in South Africa say they are working on a response, also rejecting the idea that Afrikaners are being targeted.
Well, I have got some hot tea in the brew for you, baby. Now grab your cup and pull on up, because we're about to break it down expeditiously. If you remember last week, I did a video called A Lesson is in Session. As a matter of fact, I think it was Saturday, just like today, but just a week back. Either way, in that video, I broke down their real plans, you know, the white man. And now he's so very terrified that there's not enough white here on his side. Yes, it just so happens on Monday, we're getting a whole plane load of white into town from out of town. Yes, you know, they told you the mass deportations that we were doing to get rid of the brown had nothing to do with them being brown, but it had to do with the fact that they were all criminals, violent, in fact. And then they started deporting grandmothers and grandfathers and even babies and 2-year-olds too. I wonder what a 2-year-old could have possibly done to you. But either way, back in February, he pulled out his Sharpie one night and he signed an executive order to put some whites on a flight. And Monday is that day. Here's some receipts for you, because this story is absolutely true. The Trump administration is chartering a plane to bring the first white South Africans to the USA as refugees, baby. Like I said on Monday, I do believe to Dallas is where they will be flying in on their flight. All you gotta be is white. Yes, tell me again how it's all about violent criminals and has nothing to do with their skin color, my friends, even though we're deporting 2-year-old children today. Even kids with cancer have to get on a plane and depart out of our way. Yes, I don't want to hear another Republican, a Republicant, and a Republican come at me and try to pull some "it's not racial" stunt. And by the way, y'all remember that little rumor that was about Alonia Muskrat over there in Texas building a little city? Yes, all the MAGA were getting excited. They thought they were going to be able to move to Alonia's new city that was being built with homes and even schools. Well, apparently, boo, that city wasn't built for you, but for more South African immigrants that are white, like Alonia Muskrat. Oh, well. I guess they're doing more for whites that don't live here than they're actually doing for whites that live here, as they're stripping your rights of due process away from you. But the brown can't stay around. And by the way, if you are in South Africa today and you think you're going to board that plane and come over here and everything's going to be fine, honey, you are insane. Don't believe that lie. You will still be outnumbered here if you just so happen to think it's okay to hate the black and brown, dear. Anyway, please share this video because I think we need to get it out into the everywheres. And one more thing. Apparently these are supposed to be farmers coming here to plow the land. Maybe you should look at what, well, that orange man is currently doing to farmers who actually live in this land. Okay.
The Trump administration has officially granted more than 50 white South Africans refugee status in the U.S. Kate Bartlett reports from Johannesburg. The Afrikaners are expected to land in the U.S. next week.
The group of white South Africans could arrive at Dallas Airport as early as Monday, 3 sources with knowledge of the matter told NPR, which has also seen an email confirming the arrangements. The sources all work for the US government, so did not want to be named out of fear of retribution. This comes just 3 months after President Trump signed an executive order claiming Afrikaners face persecution in South Africa and could apply for refugee status in the United States. Afrikaners are the descendants of mainly Dutch colonists. The South African government says there is no evidence they are being persecuted and has accused the US administration of being taken in by disinformation. For NPR News, I'm Kate Bartlett in Johannesburg.
Right. So, let me just go ahead and wrap this up by saying, welcome, bitches. Do understand, you all are last in line. You all are not just going to jump ahead of anybody here, okay? You're not. The whites that were here first, they'll be ahead of you. The Asians and East Indians, they'll be ahead of you. The blacks, and however much of the Hispanics are left, they will be ahead of you. And then, of course, the people that should have been ahead of everybody, considering it's their house. The Native Americans. We're talking full-blooded here, not those $5 Indians. You best believe they too will be ahead of you. You all will be the niggers, okay? You all are the hard R's. Feel me? Maybe with enough pulling yourself up of your bootstraps, you might reach nigga status, but until then, it's ers, niggers. So there is that. Next thing, it is in it is in your best interest, Afrikaners, 2 A's, okay. It is in your best interest to leave that South African shit, if you know what I mean, your South African shit, before you get on the plane, all right? Or at least open up the hatch and drop that shit off before you land here. You are not going to have the backup you think you do if you try any of that South African shit to the blacks here. be they the domestic blacks or the imported blacks, you will not have the kind of backup that you have here. And of course you might be thinking, well, what about the whites? The light, bright Snow Whites that are here. They'll welcome you. They might have, but those same whites that would be welcoming of people that look like them, not right now, they're not. First of all, it's not all the whites. It's not all the whites. But the ones that would, they're not trying to hear that shit right now, considering how bad life is for, forget everybody else, them right now. Okay? California, much less LA. Florida, much less Miami and the Keys. New York, much less New York City. And the DC metro area, much less the DC tri-state area, is not, despite what the media has told you and Hollywood and all else, and not on Netflix or whatever, is not, say it with me now, not, please repeat, not representative of the entire United States. The U.S. population is struggling right now. In pretty much every form and fashion, they're struggling right now, the U.S. population as a whole. So for you all, whether it's more than 50 or more than 8,000 or however the hell many of you are coming here, to all of a sudden show up and what are you going to do? You're going to come get jobs while most of us are looking for jobs and then the rest of us are looking for better jobs, but you all are going to come and take anything? You all better get ready for some slave work. Amazing how that works out. You all better get ready for some slave work. You all gonna be picking cotton, well, maybe not cotton, but you all need to go down them farms. Since you all are farmers, right? Farmers, you all know all about this, right? Head down to them farms and start picking all them berries in business, right? We need to get these egg prices lowered. We need to get these food prices lowered. We need some slaves. That's where you come in. Yeah. So just know you all are gonna be the niggas. I'm sorry. No. You all gonna be the niggers. And don't try anything with the blacks here. It is not in your best interest. You've been warned. The whites that would be on your side are probably going to be looking at you sideways, considering, especially if you start coming in here and getting benefits and they can't. They can't, but you can. I give it, with the way things are going, once they land here, and apparently that should be tomorrow. It is now Sunday, May 11th, 2025 at 7:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Apparently you all are supposed to be showing up tomorrow, from what I'm reading and what we've all just watched. I give it 6 months before you all are screaming Black Lives Matter as you run back to the black South Africans, hoping they take you back. Because once you realize how shit it is in this country right now, as far as cost of living, cost of rent, cost of food, cost of whatever, having to sit here and have all these other people chasing down the same jobs, plus AI flanking you from all sides, literally all sides, up, down, back, front, just a sphere closing in. I give you all 6 months before you all run back to South Africa. I give you all 6 months. Anyway, that's that. But above all else, remember, y'all the niggers now, and yeah. So Welcome, niggers. Later.